You can see the objectives of this video on the screen. At the end of this video, you will be able to describe what is HANA, why we need HANA, and you will be able to also explain what are the features of HANA. What is HANA? HANA stands for High Performance Analytical Appliance. As the name suggests, it can give you analytics on top of your data with a very high speed. It is a proprietary database of SAP and it is an in-memory database. You will learn what is in-memory database in next videos of Introduction to HANA. It provides analytics with high performance on top of big data. What is big data? Big data is nothing but huge amount of data. So HANA has the capacity to handle huge amount of data with a very high speed, and you can get analytics on top of it very quickly. It is a completely new product which was launched by SAP in 2011. So please note that this is not a next version of ECC, this is a completely new product. In HANA, you can store the data in row format or in column format. When you are using ECC system, most of the times your data gets stored in row format. Or there are some databases in the market in which you can store the data in row store format. There are also some databases in the market in which you can also store the data in column store format. However, the uniqueness of HANA is you can have both the features in one single database. HANA is available as on-premise version or a cloud version, or you can also go for hybrid mode. The question is, why you really need HANA? Is it because of just high performance that SAP has come up with a totally new product? They could have increased the performance of their existing ECC system. Then the question is that the reason that SAP wanted to have their own proprietary database? But then again, why it took 40 years for SAP to come up with their own database? So you need to really understand what is the exact reason behind this product. In order to understand that, you need to first understand what are the current pain points of any industry. You might have observed that within last few years, the customer base of the business is increasing rapidly. And as a result, any business has a huge volume of data. And in this competitive era, the market situations are changing frequently. And for the management, it is very important that they need to understand what is the current market situation, and accordingly they need to change their own business strategies as per the market situations. So if they want to change their business strategies according to market situations, they need to first understand what is going on inside their own business. For example, consider a company like Unilever, who is working in, the company is working in multiple countries across the globe, and the company also has a footprint in India. Unilever is into consumable products, and they are selling multiple different consumable products, and they are also facing a huge competition with other brands in India. Now suppose the company wants to understand, the management wants to understand what is the sale of their famous products. Say for example, Dove soap. What is the sale of Dove soap in a particular region till yesterday evening 9 p.m. It might happen that the company is having one ECC system in which they will be doing their sales transactions. And if they want to do the analytics on top of it, They will also need a BW system in their landscape. They will have to send the data from their ECC system to BW system. In BW systems, they will have to create info cubes and data marts and build reports in that system. And then they will be able to get the analysis, or then they will be able to get the data. What is the sale of dough product till yesterday evening 9 o'clock? Now this whole process will take minimum 24 hours for them to get the analytics. That means it will not be a real-time analytics. So what will happen in this case is they will use ECC system for OLTP purpose, that is online transaction processing, and they will be using BW system for OLAP purpose, that is online analytical processing. That means their transactions will be done in ECC system and analytics will be done in BW system. So for these two activities, they will be using two different systems, and that is why it might take more than 24 hours for them to get analytics on top of data, which might not be a real-time analytics. So with this, in this competitive era, it is very important for any business to get the real-time analytics from their business, to understand what is happening in their business quickly, so that they can change their business strategies from time to time and they can sustain in the market. So this is the real pain point that any industry was facing before HANA, that they were not able to get real-time analytics on top of their big data, that is on top of their high volume of data. So how HANA had changed this scenario? Now with HANA, you have HANA database, and then you can run any system on top of same database. That means you can run ECC system, you can run BW system, you can run CRM system, you can run SRM system, you can run any system on top of same database. What is the result of this? As a result, when you are doing transactions through ECC system, the transactions are getting stored in HANA database and BW system is running on the same database. So the database is getting shared between different systems. That means for OLTP and OLAP, you are using the same database. And as a result, you can get real-time analytics on top of HANA. So this is the most important reason why SAP came up with the next concept of HANA, because the industry was facing this issue of getting real-time analytics, because the existing database were not having the capacity to handle huge amount of data with a very high speed. The business had need to have different system for OLTP and different system for OLAP. Now with the introduction of HANA, since HANA has huge capacity to handle big data with a very high speed, now you can run different applications on that same database, and as a result you can get real-time analytics with HANA, and this is the most important reason why SAP has introduced HANA. So it is not only important that you should get real-time analytics at a very high speed, it is equally important that you get this analytics with reasonable cost. Otherwise, if you ask any business that if you want to have a real-time analytics, you go for a supercomputer. That's not an affordable solution for any business. So in order to get the real-time analytics at affordable cost with a very high speed is very important for any business. So this is the main reason why SAP came up with the concept of HANA, is to provide real-time analytics on top of big data with a very high speed and with affordable cost for the business. So apart from getting the real-time analytics on top of HANA, what all other things that you can do with HANA? So here you can see different features of HANA. One is predictive analysis. What is predictive analysis? That means based on the historical data, you can predict what can happen in future. For example, Consider any sweet mart in your area, and during some festival season, that sweet marts wants to now produce high volume of sweets so that they can cater to their customers. Now that business wants to understand how much quantity of sweets they can produce for this festival season. So what they can do is, if they have HANA system, they can provide last 3-4 years of data. They can feed last 3-4 years of data, what quantity of sweets they had produced and what was the sale in those last 3-4 years. This data they can feed into HANA system, and then HANA system can give them analysis what could be their production for this year, what kind of sell they can expect this year based on last few years of data. Because it is very important for any business to manage their inventory, especially if it is a sweet mart, then their products are perishable items. For them it is really important to understand how much quantity of sweets they should produce so that the product should not go waste. At the same time, the product should not go out of stock. So this is the power of HANA, that you can get predictive analysis on top of your data. And not only that, you can also then play with the data, that if you increase the production by 5% maybe, what will happen? How much raw material you will need, what will be the effect on your profit margins, so on and so forth. So this is one important feature of HANA. Another important feature is you can work with spatial data. That means you can also create 3D objects in HANA. You can also work with graphs on HANA, the way you create Google Maps. Similarly, you can also create graphs in HANA, and you can also measure the distance between places with HANA. One more important feature of HANA is you can have text analysis on top of structured as well as unstructured data. So what is structured and unstructured data? The data which you store in a specific row and column format is called as a structured data. Say for example, if you are storing the data in Excel sheet or any database, that is a structured data. And if you are having a data in your PPTs or Word documents or emails or social media, all this data is a unstructured data. And a study says that for any business, around 70 to 80% data is unstructured data and hardly 20 to 30% data is structured data. So now you can understand how important for any business it is to get text analysis on top of unstructured data. There are some products in the market before HANA which can give you the text analysis, but those products can give you text analysis only on top of structured data and not with unstructured data. For example, suppose any company launches a new product and they want to understand what is the feedback of the customers regarding their new product. Nowadays, people are more techno savvy and they are open to social media. They post their comments on social media. So this company then can pick up the comments of people, comments of customers from social media, feed those comments to HANA system, and then HANA can process that unstructured data, and it can give you a relevant information on top of that data. How much percentage of customers are liking the product, how much percentage of customers are not liking the product, or how much percentage of customers are neutral, so and so forth. So this is the power of text analysis on top of unstructured data. With HANA, you can do the analytics with high volume of data, not only on top of HANA, but also you can get connected to any other database like Hadoop. You can replicate the data from any other database like Hadoop into HANA, and on top of that you can do the analytics. Now SAP has also come up with a feature that once you get connected to Hadoop's database, you can also create a virtual copy of that data into HANA and do the analytics on top of that. So this is very important feature, that you can replicate the data from any other database into HANA and then do the analytics on top of that. And that is why SAP has come up with different replication techniques that you are going to learn in next videos. and SAP is also using existing replication techniques. They have also come up with couple of new replication techniques. With HANA, SAP has also come up with a new front end, that is Fiori and UI5. Again, you will learn about this in next videos. HANA is a high availability and disaster recovery. That means the database will be available for most of the times. Very rarely it will go down, and even if it goes down, there is a proper system of disaster recovery wherein you will be able to recover that database very quickly. So these are the important features of HANA, and in next video you will learn more details about HANA.